Who is the tall, dark stranger there? Maverick is the name. Riverboat, ring your bell. Fare thee well, Annabelle. Buck is the lady that he loves the best. Match to New Orleans, living on Jacks and Queens. Maverick is the legend of the West.
Arkansas. I am back at Maverick orientation for those of you keeping score at home, and I've gotten a few questions about what that orientation is like now for me as a returning driver, and specifically someone who's worked for Maverick before, so I'll get into a little bit of that, and also what that looks like during this whole COVID-19 situation that we all find ourselves in. I can say that one good thing to come out of the COVID-19 situation is that everybody attending orientation at Maverick currently has no roommates. Everybody gets a single room to themselves. I mentioned I was in Lone Oak, so we'll give you a tour of the room here. Front door, air conditioner, nice little chair behind me, and you'll see 2 beds, but only one me. Yep, no roommates for anybody here at the Days Inn in Lone Oak. Last time I was at Maverick, they used the Days Inn in Galloway, North Little Rock there, right by the truck stop. They used the Maverick Hotel, and then they used Candlewood over a few exits west of the Maverick facility in Little Rock. This time they're using the other Days Inn and this Days Inn here in Lone Oak, which is about 10 miles east of the Maverick facility. So that's where they have put me up, and there's a whole gang of people here. They actually commented that this is one of the larger classes they've had since they've gotten their orientation, which they now refer to as pre-employment evaluation. They had to suspend that, as many companies did during the whole COVID-19 initial outbreak, and just in putting that back together and figuring out what that was going to look like, they have got that back up and running, I think within the last month or so, if I remember hearing correctly. I think they got it back up in sometime in June. This is now July 12, for those of you unsure what day it is. There are 34 people in this class, and they said that was one of the largest, if not the largest, they've had since they've got it started to back up. This includes people who are going through the Maverick CDL program to earn their CDL initially, and then there's student drivers, people who've never driven before but have their CDL, and then there's people who are in similar situations such as myself, experienced drivers. More on that in a bit. Since we're all on the COVID-19 situation, I will say that Maverick does take some precautions for that. They are not flying anyone, and no one's taking a Greyhound or anything, and everybody gets a single room. They also, every morning, take your temperature and ask you the standard litany of COVID-19 questions. Have you been in contact with anyone, whatnot. Every morning when you come into the facility, and there's only one way in and one way out now, they seat everyone in the classrooms such that there's no one within 6 feet of you, whereas they used to have 2 people at a table. Now it's 1 person at a table, and everybody's spaced out accordingly. And during the meal times, they're kind of stacked. Maverick will feed you breakfast and lunch while you're here at your pre-employment evaluation. And it used to be kind of a buffet style. Everybody would get in line and you'd go through and you'd sit for 4 guys at a table. Now it's 1 guy at a table, and they have prepackaged box breakfasts and lunches that you get you get it in a box and carry it over your table, sit down and eat it. Other than that, you're supposed to wear masks while you are in a situation where you can't be more than 6 feet away from someone. So if you're just sitting in the classroom, you don't need a mask on unless you want to wear one. And you're supposed to wear masks if you're riding in a company vehicle. They have these large 15-passenger vans that they cart everyone around in. So that's about, I think, all that they're doing differently with the whole COVID-19 situation. And then otherwise, the orientation, as I'm still in the habit of calling it, pre-employment evaluation, it's kind of the same thing. The first day you go over a lot of Maverick policies, and they get you through certain essential bits of documentation. You fill out your tax forms, and you get your FMCSR handbook, and we talked a little about hours of service, and they did the town hall at the end of today's classroom session where anyone in the orientation could ask questions, and there was also a number provided where your family members could call in if they had questions. So that was kind of cool of them to do that. Otherwise, as I said, if you are a experienced driver, when you come to Maverick Transportation, if you have no flatbed experience, you can expect to be here for 1 week for your pre-employment evaluation, at which you do all of your paperwork and quizzes and safety videos and safety quizzes and more safety videos and more safety quizzes. And then you'll do your DOT physical and agilities test. That's on Monday, tomorrow. They always do that on Monday. And then you'll get your job offer Thursday. And then Thursday you'll start your business unit training, which is flatbed securement. And then if you're going on to glass, that's another additional few days after that. So if you have no flatbed experience, you're going to come in and you're going to be here for 2 weeks as an experienced driver. However, I found out if you have a flatbed experience, they offer you the option of, essentially in the academic world, it's called a CLEP test, where you can demonstrate your knowledge and be able to test out of their securement training. However, they are thoughtful enough to caution folks that while it doesn't hurt to try, very few people who are not returning Maverick drivers simply know how to secure things to Maverick standards the way that Maverick wants them done. It's not that, you guys might work for years for a company and secure things just fine for the way that company wants things done. Maverick has their own set of securement rules that go, in some cases, above and beyond what the FMCSA dictates for minimum securement. And they've got some particular things they do with coils and chain hookups that are specific to Maverick, and that's the way they want that done. And I'm finding out from talking to other guys that a lot of other companies, and I saw when I was out in the fleet before, a lot of other companies just don't do stuff the way Maverick does it, which is one of the reasons I came to Maverick in the first place and one of the reasons why I'm back at Maverick now. It's a slightly different process for me as a returning Maverick driver. I don't want to get into any trade secrets that they may have revealed to me about what that looks like, but let's just say it's a slightly different process since I have not been separated from my employment with Maverick for less than a year. If I understood correctly, had I been away for more than a year from Maverick, then it would be as if I was just an experienced driver who had never worked for Maverick before. But because it's only been 7 or 8 months since I left Maverick, then I demonstrate my familiarity with their techniques in a different manner than what everyone else does. But still, it's still essentially a process whereby I demonstrate to them that I still remember how you guys want things secured. And fortunately, I saved all my notes from last time. So if you come to Maverick and you take all these notes, save them. Not only will they serve you well when you're out in the fleet and encounter a load, but they may serve you well if you end up in a situation such as myself. So we did that. Today was the first day. Monday is Medical Monday. It's the DOT physical and the agilities or abilities test. And then Tuesday, for experienced drivers, we do our road tests. Don't know what that looks like yet. It was just explained to me by the recruiter as a standard road test. And I drove for a while before I came to Maverick. So I've seen all sorts of different ways of people giving road tests. So there's in my mind, there's no such thing as a standard road test. So I'll be sure to fill you all in on what that looks like. But that'll be coming up Tuesday. So this was day 1 of my second orientation, pre-employment evaluation for Maverick Transportation, and I'm very happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to being around here a while. My wife and I were talking on the phone just a bit ago, and we both concluded that it would take something of biblical proportion to remove me from the nice maroon Freightliners, which hopefully I will be rolling out of Arkansas in one of those on Thursday of this week. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I would certainly appreciate that. Shout out to everybody who's following along on the journey, and hope that all is well with you guys. If you have any questions, man, let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help answer any questions, calm any fears, alleviate any doubts, and broaden your mind in any way that I can. Take care.